Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our sit down, our talk. We are introducing our guest. We are super excited. August the 9th is on the way. Good evening, Shanique. And so we are excited about this event, how it's going to move. It's going to be all about an encounter. It's going to be all about activation. It's going to be all about what? Execution. So I wanted to bring on some guests just so you guys can meet them and just have some conversations so you guys can get to know them before the date gets here. And so I have none other. He is not a guest, technically, to any platform that I'm on because he knows he's my brother, my friend. He's always welcome. He will pop up on me. It don't matter, but he's always welcome in anything that I'm doing. And I could not have this event and not have him on the platform. And so you guys know him. He is now Pastor Steele, but you guys also know him as Coach Steele. Talk to the people, Coach Steele.
Good evening, everyone. I am happy to be here, and I am also excited about August 9th. And so August 9th, we are having I Pray, Plan, and Execute, and we are going to come together and have a meeting of the minds to help push people to where they need to be. And I'm ready to push. I've been working out. I've been getting my mind right, been getting my body right so that I can help push you to destiny to where you need to be. Of course, I am Pastor Simon Steele here at Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, and also known as Coach Steele to others. And I used to be in the military, so at one point I was Sergeant Steele. So it just depends where you know me from, what I may be to you, but all of it was working together for God's good. He knew exactly what he was doing as he gave me each one of these different experiences in my life to now help push people to destiny and motivate them to be in places and heights that they have never seen before. So I'm happy to be talking to you all this evening with Pastor Takara Nicole with Life at the Well. And so I need you, as you're listening in, to share this live because it's going to get hot. I need you all to start sharing and commenting. I want to hear your comments and be able to give you some feedback as well as we discuss these hot topics on this evening.
All right. So listen, y'all, welcome. Come on in. Hello, Joyce. Listen, this is super interactive. This is not where you can just sit down and just watch us. We want you guys to ask questions and talk to us, get all the information that you need as it pertains to August the 9th. This is what we're here for. So without further ado, we're just going to dive into this. And I'm going to allow Coach Jill just to give you guys, he kind of gave you his titles. However, I wanted him to give you guys a little bit about his background and what he is going to bring to August the 9th. So tell us a little bit about your background. What is your area of expertise?
I'm bringing me. Okay, let me quit acting silly. My area of expertise, I love teaching financial literacy for a number of reasons. I love teaching the foundation, the backbones of financial literacy, because when people are learning financial literacy and I'm teaching them, I am basically shifting your mindset to think different. But in order to shift your mindset to think different, we have to start with some basics. And then when I can teach someone the basics, I can take them to another stratosphere financially. And so that's what I do. I work with and I coach people on shifting from where they are to getting to the next place to where they need to be with using those basics. And a lot of my concepts, some of them are basic and some of them are outside of the box. Things that you may not have heard of about how to get out of debt at an accelerated rate. Some people they get surprised when I say I had a 30-year mortgage and I was able to pay it off in 3 years and 7 months. They're like, wait, what
Woo.
in the world? How are you able to do that? How are
Right.
you able to save thousands of dollars? And guess what? I freed up my cash flow. And when I free up my cash flow, it allows me to do other creative things with investing, securing my future, supporting, giving to other causes. There's a picture of Cameroon and my people back there in Cameroon behind me, being able to support missions and missions trips and things like that. So I love teaching financial literacy because if you can capture the information that I teach and I give, it will open the door for those other opportunities that you truly desire in life. And I'm also a strong proponent of creating passive income. I don't care what capacity it is. I don't care if it's in stocks and those stocks that in dividend stocks that allow you to make passive income, or whether it's real estate, whether it's short term, long term, you name it. I also, anybody who's been around me and you listen to Coach Steele's finance training, which is my YouTube channel, you'll hear me often talk about real estate because I love talking and teaching about real estate investing. Of course, I have investment properties. And so from those investment properties, I have passive income. So I'm not just talking about it, but these are the things that I do. These are the things that I put to practice in my life that has allowed me to have financial success. And instead of sitting on it and holding the information in, I love to share this information with other people.
Yeah.
And so August 9th, I get the opportunity to be able to share some of my financial secrets and strategies with everyone else.
Absolutely. One thing that he said that was really good was he said that he's actually walking it out. And so a lot of times I'm not saying that we can't teach things that we have not quite mastered. However, in spaces like the I Pray, Plan, Execute, we want to make sure that we're bringing people that are actually walking out what they are giving out. So it's one thing to just teach it, but it's another thing to be actively working in it. So when he says, hey, I got properties, I've been able to pay off my house in X amount of years, I got X amount of money saved up, I'm able to give money in all these different kind of areas because he understands how to be a good steward over his finances. He's teaching us how to be disciplined over what we have. And so I think this aspect of it is so important. I think that finances is a conversation that people are scared of. I'll be honest, it's one that I've been scared of, right? I think at one point of in time of our lives, we're scared of the financial conversation. Even ministries and churches, right? Faith-based institutions are afraid to have the conversation around money because of the way that people the way that people perceive money. However, we must
Yeah.
understand that finances are a crucial part of what we have to do. And so we talk about faith plus strategy equals what? Results. And so we know that we can operate in faith and that we can call down the money and we can ask God to open up doors. However, he is asking for us, well, will you get the money? What's the strategy? What you gonna do with it? So I think that's really important. And so again, like I said, we have someone that's actually living it. We have someone that's walking it out in his day-to-day life. You'll be able to hear stories of how he has been able to overcome. And he'll tell you guys, I'm not going to tell his testimony or his story. He'll tell y'all when he comes, but he'll tell you guys about what his life was like growing up, And so being able to, we think that we're just so far from people. But all of us on the stage, you'll be able to see that we all have a story. Can you walk us through just one moment where you really had to pray, plan, and execute? What was at stake and how did you navigate through it?
Let's see, there's so many moments in my life where I had to pray, plan, and execute from the smallest of things. I'm scared of dogs. So if I'm walking down the street, I got to pray, plan, and execute just to how not to have this dog chase me so I don't jump
Okay.
on anybody's car or climb a tree. There's times where I was deployed in the military. Guess what? And we were in Iraq. And guess what? I had to pray, plan, and execute. But when I was younger and I had a young family, a wife, and at the time it was about two kids. I have a total of three kids, and I've been married for 24 years. We were in debt. Oh my gosh. And see, $50,000 worth of debt in 2025, most people have more than that now.
Yeah.
But $50,000 worth of debt back in 2001, 2002, oh my gosh, it was bad. And I was a private in the military. We didn't make much money. And so when I was trying to figure out how do I sustain, how do I take care of my family, how do I take care of these two kids? We have medical bills because we had children. We had my wife had a bunch of student loan debts, different things, credit card debt, all of this stuff, and I felt so much pressure as a man. How do I get my family out of this situation? And I really had to pray, and I had to come up with a plan and be able to execute to get us out of that situation. And a lot of times it's, you have to remember the word declares that faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
And so after we pray and after we plan, we got to execute. We have to do the work. And so I had to start studying and researching and learn and start putting together a budget. After I prayed and after I asked God to help me, I had to start doing the difficult things, which is look at what I had going out, look at what I had coming in, and learn how to put together a legitimate and a realistic budget for our lives. And we had to get on the same page because when you have two people in the house, you got money going this way and that way, and you got to communicate. So we
That's
had to
good.
learn how to communicate and come together. And so it wasn't about arguing and well, you bought this and well, you bought that. And we had to decide how much are we going to spend on groceries? What are we going shopping for this month? What is within bounds? What is out of bounds? And so we had to really come together to put together a plan so that we could execute. And what was crazy is eventually, long story short, we were eventually able to pay off those 50 plus $1,000 worth of debt.
Wow.
And I was so excited because there was a time when we couldn't even put money to the side for life insurance. We didn't have enough money to put together for retirement. And we finally had an extra $25 left over at the end of the month. And I was
Wow.
able to open up a Roth IRA. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was excited because I could start saving for my future. And so eventually we got rid of debt and we had more cash flow. Eventually I had $50 left over at the end of every month. I started calling uh, service providers, cell phone company, everybody trying to figure out how I can get $10 off here, $20 off here. Because every time I found another way to get a discount or my bill decreased for the month, it opened up a little more cash flow. So $10 from one person and 20 from another, I had an extra $30 left over. Now I
That's a
wasn't
good
living
point.
paycheck to paycheck. I had some breathing room. And so once we got some breathing room, then I was able to take the money and start investing it in places to where my money was working for me. And when we got to the point where we were executing to where the money was working for us, I had money coming in from my 9 to 5, but then I also had my money having money coming in for me as well. I got addicted to making my money work for me instead of me working for my money. But I had to quit making excuses. And when I didn't know how to pray and plan, I had to get around other people, Pastor Takara, who
That's
knew how
good.
to pray and plan and give me direction on what steps to take. I tried to do it by myself. There were times where I was on the phone, people was calling asking for money, and I was like, I can't pay you. Well,
Ooh.
when can we expect payment? Never. It's not coming. Now we can stay on this phone all day. And I got tired of having those conversations. And so I thought it was cool not to pay bills, but it's not cool. That stuff
What
all
did you
came
used to
back to
do?
bite me in the
What did
long.
you used to do when I used to call you? Remember?
I used to play on the phone with them. I used to literally play on the phone with these people, having long conversations. I was so ignorant, but and I don't want to go. I don't want to tell how silly I am, but
No, I want
they
you to
would
tell
keep
them.
trying to prolong the conversation to try to get around well this that and other and sometimes when they would try to get off the phone because they realized they weren't going to get payment, I would prolong the conversation and try to wait, where you going? I thought we was talking. I was ignorant, and so I did it because I figured if I did that, then they would want to not call me back. And so
Right.
at that point I was staying in an apartment. Eventually we bought a house, And I saw where all that came back to bite me when I had to clean up my credit. But when I talk about executing, I got addicted to my money working for me and paying me.
Yeah.
And so it started on a small scale to, like, if you were listening earlier, to where now I have multiple properties that pay me every month. But I started with a little bit and I continue to let it grow. And here's a nugget for somebody. I let my 9 to 5 income be my venture capital money. In
Wow.
other words, instead of making excuses, instead of saying nobody won't help me, or I need somebody to raise this for me, or somebody give me a chance, I started making sacrifices with my 9 to 5 income and sitting it to the side. Because if nobody was going to invest in me, if no one was going to trust my vision and my goals and
That's good.
everything that I had prayed to plan so that I could execute, I was going to at least invest in myself. I was going to put money to the side for myself. And that's what I started doing. I started raising my own venture capital money for my entrepreneurship, for my investments, for my aspirations. And these are the things, and this is the reason why y'all got to get out there on August 9th, because I want to come together with some people that have the same mindset, some of the same people that want
Yeah.
to reach certain goals. You have no idea that once you start putting your hand to the plow and you become connected with this vision and this goal that you have, especially when you want to make your money work for you, it gets easier and easier and easier. When you start, it may feel a little rough, but I'm telling y'all, once
Ooh,
you get
that's
the ball
good.
rolling, once you get that snowball going down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger. At one point, I only wanted like 3 properties because I had 3 kids. I said, if something happened to me, I want to leave a property for each kid. But ooh, that snowball kept going, Pastor Takara. Then another
Ooh.
property, then another one. It got easier because I was no longer using my. I remember telling you this story. I thought in order to buy a house, you had to save up all the money that the house costs to in order to buy a house. I
Wow.
was working with my limited knowledge. Whether it's a business, I thought you had to save up all the money. And so I was waiting and holding back on what it is I wanted to accomplish because I was working with my limited knowledge. But when I got educated, I saw how much time I had wasted. And
Wow.
so the education and the knowledge and the mentorship sped up the process from where I was trying to go. And many of you are working with your own limited knowledge and information. And August 9th gives you an opportunity to be around mentors and coaches and people with experience that can speed up the process, and it'll make up for lost time. So many of you that have been behind on your goals and things you're trying to get accomplished, I believe August 9th is a great environment,
To
a
catch
great
up.
place that is conducive to your visions and goals and dreams so that you can catch up and surpass where it is you were trying to go.
That's so good. Two things I want you guys to listen to what he said. There were two things that he said that were key. One he said was it wasn't a whole lot of money that he put into this Roth IRA, right? And I think sometimes we're waiting for us to be able to put in a large amount of money before we decide that we want to start saving,
Mhm.
not realizing that the goal is just to get started. That's it. The goal is just to get started. And many of us are saying, even in our businesses, I don't have the money. I can't do this. I'm not capable. But the reality is that if you just start small, you have to start somewhere that it increases your ability to be able to do more. The second thing that he said that I teach, that I believe in, is that we have to make sure that we are on the same page, right? We have to make sure that as husband and wives, business partners, that everybody is on the same page. And that's one thing for me when we start doing vision boards and things like that. You know, Coach still know I'm like, hey, y'all need to do these together. We need to know where we're going. We as at together, you know, a lot of times what happens is that you have goals and the other person has goals, and if both of you guys are trying to work your goals separately and not trying to work your goals together, you don't realize that you could actually be working against each other. Y'all could be going against one another. And so he said him and his wife came together on the same page and they had the conversation about where they wanted to go. They both were willing to make the necessary sacrifices, because it's nothing worse than one person making the sacrifices but the other person doing whatever they want to do. Oh, you get to spend your money, you get your nails on your hair, no, whatever money I have coming in is going towards the goal. No, whatever it is that we're working towards as a family, those finances should be coming together. We should be coming together so that we can accomplish family goals. And so this is where that the key of all of this is partnership. And so I really want to encourage married couples. I want to encourage business partners for you guys to come together. It doesn't make sense for one person to get the information, one person creating a plan of execution, while the other person sits on the sideline and does not get the information. And then you try to come home and relay everything to the person. Well, this is what I heard them saying. They're like, well, I don't know. Well, they won't know because they weren't really in the atmosphere. They weren't in the environment. They didn't hear the tone of how it came out. They didn't get to do all of the activities that we did so that they could actually get the information. And so we are encouraging business partners, married couples, leadership teams, right? This is the opportunity for teams to come together and get the necessary information that you need so that you guys can grow. So those are two main things. You got to start small, but we also need to be on the same page as it pertains to leadership. All right. If you're just now joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're catching the replay, you guys can always type replay in the chat. But we're just having this conversation. Coach Steele, Pastor Steele, is going to be with us August the 9th at I Pray, Plan, Execute, the Mastermind Leadership Intensive in Richmond Hill, Georgia. And he has just been sharing with us just some tools. He's been sharing with us some gems, some nuggets about finances. And so you guys are getting a good little 25 minutes of him sharing this information. However, you guys will get more on August the 9th. You'll be able to ask questions that you need to ask as it pertains to questions you want to know. As it pertains to finances. But one of the greatest things is that what you'll also know is that Coach Steele has a lot of different programs and things that you guys will be able to dive into as well. All right. We have another one of our speakers on the line in the chat. Pastor Kenneth Law, guys. He says it's going to be a great and empowering day, and we're looking forward to you guys meeting him as well. We're looking forward to you guys being able to know who he is. And I have one more question, and then y'all, we're gonna give you guys back your evening. Like I said, you just gotta be there August the 9th. Y'all gotta be in the room to experience what listen, the word that I've been getting about this conference, encounter, whatever you want to call it. But the word I've been getting is activation. Like, I feel like this is going to be such a moment of activation for so many people. So many people
Yes.
have ideas, things that are lying dormant. Like he said earlier, he said, sometimes you just don't know. Like, your mind can be like, I want some of you guys to understand that YouTube can only give you but so much, right? There are some things that you have to go to the source and get the questions and be able to ask questions. But I'll just ask you this question. When you think about the word activation, because this is what I keep hearing is activation. What do
Bring it to
you
me. Come
listen?
on.
I want to bring it to you. Talk to us
Ask me the
about
question. Ask me.
activation. What does activation mean? What do you see as far as August the 9th and the word activation?
When I think about the word
Woo!
activate, good question.
Okay.
I think about when you put fuel on a little spark,
Okay.
you can activate an even bigger fire. I think about even in the Old Testament when God told Samuel to go anoint David and he anointed David with oil, he activated something. And
Wow.
so when we talk about August 9th, some of you have a little spark, you got a little cold, you got a little something that's going on. You got something there, but it needs to be activated. It needs to be turned up. It needs to be taken up a notch. And August 9th, being in that room is going to help give you that extra fuel that you need to activate those
That's good.
goals, those dreams, those visions that you have. And so activate, we're going to turn it on and we're going to take it up a notch. Activate doesn't mean we're just going to tap at it. No, we're going to really open that thing up so that you can execute. And you have to understand, when you activate something, it's because it now has knowledge. It now has the information it needs to
Yeah.
execute, to become wisdom on how you make decisions. One of the things that's going to happen from people being there August 9th, Pastor Takara, is that people are going to be able to better identify opportunities that are in front of them. When
Yeah.
you get this knowledge and this information, it allows you to take action. It allows you to move. It allows you to activate, because you are no longer working off of limited information. Your confidence is up because you've done your homework. You've done the due diligence. You have mentors. You have coaches. You've been through this. You got your reps. And so some people are intimidated about how to negotiate, how to know their worth, how to know their value. And so they lowball themselves and don't reach their full
That's
potential. So
good.
they can't really activate their full potential because they can't identify opportunities and they can't negotiate and communicate those things to other people in the marketplace. So August 9th is going to help you activate that fuel that's going to be put on that spark to create a bigger fire, that oil that you need. All of that is going to happen because you're going to get the information and the knowledge that you need to
That's good.
better identify these opportunities that are passing by you every single day that you are blind to, but your eyes be opened up when you're put in the right environment and you're given the right information. And so that's what I think about when you say the word
And
activate.
you and as you begin to talking, you're talking about activation, right? The one thing that I thought about was like, okay, so y'all know I do hair. And so I thought about like I have, one product and I have another product, right? But until this product gets inside of this product, it does not activate. It does not do what I need it to do. And so sometimes we have this over here and we have something else over here. However, until they come together, there is no activation. And so that's just like, you can have an extension cord and you can have the light, the plug into the light. Until you plug the light into the extension cord, until you plug the light into the wall, it doesn't work. And so sometimes what we need is to be plugged into information. We need to be plugged into sometimes people, because we don't realize that there are people that have the ability to unlock our next. There are people that have the language for our next. And so this is why it's important for us to get into spaces like this, to be in the room with people that have the language, that have the resources, that have the tools so that they can activate, they can unlock, they can give you what you need so that you can be where you're like, because the thing about it is that without the activation, it's just powder. I'm just speaking in, hair terms, right? Without the activation, it's just powder. It doesn't become what it
Yep.
needs to be. It doesn't become something that can actually be used, come on, until it's activated. And so some of us are sitting on knowledge, we're sitting on goals, we're sitting on visions. You got a book full of goals that you have written down all your life about everything that you want to do, but until it's actually activated, right? It's just paper. It's just words written on a paper. And so August the 9th is all about getting us to the place where what we write down, what we see in our head, what we have envisioned, what you got on your little cute little vision board, what you've been going after, but you're not seeing any results. We're just here as an activator. That's it, to make sure that you become what it is that you're supposed to become. So this is why August the 9th is so important to be in the room, because it's not about, I keep telling y'all, this is not another conference. This is not a church service. I just got to be clear, okay? So if you think you come with your tamarine, we going to shine, this not that kind of party, all right? It's not. I'm sorry. We know how to do that really well, right? We understand the faith part real good, but we don't understand lining it up with strategy. We even understand, can I tell you, the emotional aspects, right, of what we're building. We understand, we get really emotional. And this is why I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I said some of us got to be very careful because your passion cannot override strategy, right? There are a lot of people that are passionate about God, but they don't have strategy. So therefore, they don't have peace. Why don't you have peace? Because you don't have no strategy. And so, like Coach Steele said earlier, faith without works is what? Dead. So we need our faith. We need our strategy for whatever it is we're trying to achieve to come alive. And that's exactly what August the 9th is going to be. It's going to be an execution party. It's going to be the moment where everything that is down on the inside comes alive. I want y'all to drop in the chat, come alive. Come on, if there's something that you've been asking God for, if there's something you've been praying for, if there's something that you really need to execute, I want you guys to drop in the chat, come alive. Absolutely. That's a good point. Pastor Kenneth Law, he said, ladies, please invite the men that you know. This is for men as well. Listen, 10 times out of 10, nothing that I'm ever going to do is just going to be for women. I believe that we need us all to come together. So men, please. I keep telling y'all, men walk around be like, we're the visionaries. We the head of the household. I'm like, okay, yeah. I need y'all to show up and be the head. I need y'all to do the things that the head does. And the head is all about initiation. It's all about taking action. And so I need y'all to make sure that y'all, that's it. Come alive. I see y'all in the chat. Come alive, come alive, come alive. This day is going to be all about whatever you're trying to do. We want it to come alive. So I want you guys to come into the room just with a place of expectation. I promise you that your expectation is going to be met that day. Coach Jill, you got anything to say?
Last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna echo Pastor Kenneth Law. Yes, women, men, everyone show up. Women, if you got a boyfriend, if you got a husband, if you got a potential prospect, you might as well bring them too,
Tell them
because
come
the
get in the
priest
room.
of the home needs to have the vision of the home. Well, and
Come
so they
on.
need to know what direction they're going in. Because, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, bring a friend, bring a buddy, whatever it is. They need to be there as well, have their face in the place. We're gonna have a great time. Definitely want to fellowship with the men as well. And so we can't just show the women how to get to the money. We need to show the men as well.
Come
Amen.
on. Tell them how to get to this money. But yeah, y'all listen. As y'all can see, we're super excited. Y'all already know that Coach Steele, that's my guy. He's been my guy, and I'm excited that he is. He's already been doing this for a while, right? And this is what we're gonna teach you guys. You can already be doing something for a while, but being able to take it to the next level. And Coach Steele has done just that. He has been helping people for years. Okay, y'all. Not he. Y'all might just not be seeing, but Coach Steele been doing this. He just did it. He's just taking it up to another level. And some of you guys, I want to encourage you what you're doing, it seems like it's been on a lower level, or what I'm doing is on the back end, or what I'm doing is at a small space or whatever the case may be. However, I want you guys to know it's levels to this. And no one is going to disqualify the fact that a lot of you guys have been doing things for a long time. However, it comes a point in time when you got to kick it up a notch. You got to step it up. It's time to not only step up, but
Yep.
for many of you, you're going to get the tools on how do I step out. I told you guys, I've been coaching, I've been pastoring, I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I'm not new to this. However, there comes a point in time where the Lord will open up doors for you to level up. And I'm not even saying the Lord will open up doors. It takes work, right? It was the Lord, but I had to put in the work to level up to get to this place. I've been coaching people on the phone, right? But to host events, host retreats. Come on in.
You don't even have to explain that, Pastor Takara, because God gave you a command to be fruitful and to multiply.
That's it.
And so all we are doing is making more after our kind. We're being fruitful and we're multiplying. And so we're just executing. So, like you said, pray, plan, and execute. That's just what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we are just walking it out in this season, and we want to be able to multiply and make more after our kind. When we talk about stewardship, when we talk about executing, we can't just stop where we are and be selfish. No, no, no. This
Mm,
information must be shared with the masses. It must be shared with our community, and we want you to be a part of the community. So I'm
yes.
excited about this, Pastor Takara, because I know you have a lot of information. You are also walking this thing out as well. You got time in the game, you got sweat equity, you have experience, and you have things that people need to come connect with so that they can grow where they are. And so this is all about love and being able to uh, from this, people are going to be able to network, and from
Yes,
this, we're going to be able to create a community. And I don't want to get too deep, but there's a way to create your economy within the circle of people that you have around you and the community that you create. So now I don't have to go to somebody where the dollar doesn't come back into my community. I can
yeah,
go to someone who's in my circle, in my marketplace, in my economy, where we can continue to circulate those dollars amongst each other, and from that we grow faster. But the only way we do that is by we coming together and building
absolutely.
everybody up to a place where they can be successful and profitable.
That is so good. And that's all we trying to do. That I know that that's just really been my assignment here on the earth is to bring us together. We can do this better together. I don't know how many times I can get it in our head that how much collaboration is key. And so this is what this weekend is all about. Is it's all about collaboration. Right now, I believe we have a total of 5 vendors. There are going to be 5 other vendors in the room that are going to be showcasing their business. So if you would like to be a vendor, we do have a couple more vendor spots available. Come showcase your business. Allow people to be able to see what you have to offer. You never know who's in the room that has the ability to take your product, service, or whatever to the next level. So if you're interested in being a vendor, listen, come. I'm encouraging. I don't care if you live in this area. $20. Most of the time for this type of conference, you're going to spend well over $1,000. So for you to spend $20 to get in, it's nothing for you guys to get on a plane, get your hotel, come be in the room. This is literally a full day of coaching. Your lunch is included, so you don't have to worry about going to get lunch. Your materials are included. So you are left without an excuse as to why you are not in the room. Okay. So that's literally all we have for you guys. We look forward. Many of you have signed up already. I believe that we are close to the 45, 46 number. And my goal was to have 50 people in the room. And so we're almost there, and it has not even reached um August the 9th yet. We are already, I'm literally about 5 people away from the goal. And so to that, for that alone, I'm grateful. So listen, I want to see y'all in the room August the 9th, 9 to 4 in Richmond Hill, Georgia. Share this live with somebody, share this event with somebody, tell your business partner, tell your business bestie, tell your spouse, hey, listen, I'm going to this event and I want to see you in the room. All right. I'll see y'all soon. And no, it's not like it well. However, we always tell y'all to be well.
Be well.